Hello dear friends, welcome to the fifth video on linear programming problems. In this video we will study the simplex method to solve linear programming problems. And after watching this video you will be able to understand what is simplex method and what are its uses, how we can convert the general LPP to standard LPP, what is the process of solving LPP using simplex method, how we can generate the simplex tables, how we can detect the key row, key column, key element in the simplex table, and what are the Cj, Zj basic variables and solution variables. So let us start with the simplex method for maximization type objective function LPP. Okay, so a simplex method is a standard technique in linear programming for solving an optimization problem. Okay, and for problems having more than two variables it is better to use solution methods that are adaptable to computers, and one such type of method is the simplex method. So we can say that the simplex method has two advantages. First, it can be used for the LPPs which have more than two variables. Second, it can be used on the computers also, and we can solve the LPP problem on computers using simplex method. Also, it provides us a systematic way to determine the vertices of the feasible region to find the optimum values of the objective function. Okay, so this is all about the simplex method introduction. Now let us introduce this method with our previous example as that we have used in the graphical method. Okay, so this is the example that we will solve with the help of this numerical using the simplex method. So the first step for solving a linear programming using simplex method, first of all we have to convert this given general linear programming to standard linear programming problem. So this is the general LPP which we have to convert to standard LPP. Okay, so for that purpose we have to check the four condition. Okay, so let us check these four condition one by one. First of all we have to check the objective function. Okay, so the objective function is must be of maximization type. If it is not of maximization type, we have to convert that to the maximization type objective function. Okay, now in this question you will see that the given objective function is of maximization type. So our first condition is already satisfied in the given question, that is the objective function is of a maximization type, so we don't have to change this. Okay, so initially our objective function will remain as it is, that is maximized is equal to 200x plus 50y. Okay, now the second condition is that these two right hand side with elements of the constant equations must be non-negative. Here in this question if you will see that the two right hand side element of the constant equation are already of a non-negative type, so already our second condition is fulfilled. Okay, so we don't have to change these two elements, so they will remain as it is. Okay, so let us check for the third condition. Okay, in the third condition what we have to do, we have to convert these inequality symbols to the equality symbols. Okay, so for that purpose what we have to do, we have to introduce the slack or surplus variables. Okay, depending on the symbols of the constant. Okay, now you will see that in this case the 100 is greater than or equal to this equation. Okay, so we have to add a slack variable so that this equation can be made equal to 100. Okay, so if we will introduce a slack variable, that is S1 in this equation, the inequality equation will be converted to the equality equation, and that will become equal to 5x plus y plus S1 is equal to 100. Okay, now this S1 is a non-negative variable. Okay, for example, if in the equation of constant, if the 5x plus y is equal to 100, then the value of this s1 will become 0, and if this 5x plus y is less than 100, then the value of s1 will be exactly equal to the difference between these two values. Okay, similarly we have to convert this equation also to the equality equation. So again this is a less than or equal to type of equation, so we have to add another slack variable to this side so that these two sides will become equal. So if we will add another variable, that is s2, to this equation, the equation will now become as x plus y plus s2 equal to 50. Okay, now as we have converted the two inequality equations to equality equation, we now have to move to the fourth condition, that is we have to check whether the given variables, that is x and y, are non-negative or not. Here you will see that in the given equation both x and y are greater than or equal to 0, that is they are of a non-negative type, so we don't have to change them, and the fourth condition is already satisfied. So now let us write down the standard LPP. Now the standard LPP will be as this. Okay, now the maximization type objective function will now be written as 200x plus 50y plus 0s1 plus 0s2, because we have to add these two slack variables also to the objective function. But please remember that the coefficient of these two objective functions will be 0. Okay, now these are the two constant equation, and now they have been converted to the equality equation. Okay, so they will become 5x plus y plus s1 equal to 100 and x plus y plus s2 is equal to 50. Okay, now you will see that in this this standard LPP we are having now the four variables. Okay, so these are the x, y, s1 and s2. Okay, so all these variables are greater than equal to 0. So we have converted this general LPP to standard LPP, and now this standard LPP is ready for the solution, and we will solve this using the simplex method. And for that purpose we have to use these values, and we have to put these values into the simplex table. Okay, now this is the format of a simplex table. Okay, so this is PPU, that is profit per unit. This is BV and it is called as the basic variable. Okay, now this basic variable is generally the s1 and s2 which we have added in the constant equation. Okay, this is Cj, that is these are the coefficient of the elements of the objective function. This is solution variable, that is this. Here we will write the values of the right hand side element of the constant equation. Okay, here we will write the different variables which are being used in the objective function. Okay, this is Zj and this is Cj minus Zj, which we will found after using the values from standard LPP here. Okay, now let us withdraw the values from standard LPP and use them here. Now let us start with this row. Okay, here we have to write the different variables. Okay, now if you will see in the standard LPP we are having four variables, that is x, y, s1 and s2. So we have to write these values or these variables here. So the first variable is x, the second variable is y, third variable is s1 and the fourth variable is s2. Okay, so this row will remain same in all of the simplex table. Now we in the row against Cj we have to write the coefficient of these values from the objective function. Okay, now you will see that here the coefficient of x is 200, so we have to write this 200 here. Now 50 is the coefficient of y, so we have to write 50 here. Now both s1 and s2 have the coefficient as 0, 0, so we have to write these values here. Okay, so please remember that these values or this portion of the table will remain same for all of the tables during the solution of this question. Okay, now we know that S1 and S2 are the two basic variables. So we have to write the values of PPU for this S1 and S2, and the values of PPU will always be taken from the top row of the simplex table. Okay, now here this is S1 and the value of PPU which we have to write here is this value. Okay, so for S1 let us write a value 0. Similarly for S2 you will be having a value 0, so just write this 0 here. Okay, now we have to use these equations into this simplex table. Okay, so let us start with this row. Okay, now the coefficient of x is 5, so we have to write this 5 here under x. Okay, similarly for y, the value of coefficient for y is 1 and we have to write this one here. Here the value of S1 is 1 and there is no S2 here, so the value of S2 here is 0. Okay, now this is 100 and this has to be written here under SV in the row 1. Okay, now similarly we have to use this row also here. Okay, so the coefficient of x here is 1, here the coefficient of y is 1, there is no S1. Okay, so the value of S1 here is 0 and there is a S2, so the coefficient S2 is 1. Okay, now this 50 has to be written here in front of the second row. Okay, now we will find the value of Zj. So for finding the value of Zj for all these columns, we have to multiply these value with all columns. Okay, and then we have to perform the addition function. Okay, so let us start for finding the value of this column. Okay, now multiply this 0 with this 5. Okay, so let us multiply this 0 with 5 and then add the multiplication of this 0 with 1 here. Okay, now 0 into 1. Okay, so you will see that the 0 into 5 is 0 and 0 into 1 is again 0, then 0 plus 0, it will come out to be 0. Similarly, if you will multiply this 0 with 1, the value is 0, and if you will multiply this 0 with 1, the value is again 0. So if you will add these two zeros, then we will be having value 0. Again, if you will multiply this 0 with 1 and this 0 with 0, both the values will be 0. If you will add these two zeros, the value again will be 0. Similarly, if you will multiply this 0 with 0 and then add the multiplication of this 0 with this 1 to this value, then the total will come out to be 0. Okay, so we have found the value of Zj for all these columns. Now we will find the value of Cj minus Zj. Okay, so these are the value of Cj for different columns and these are the values for Zj for different columns. So 200 minus 0, it will come out to be 200. Now 50 minus 0, it will come out to be 50. If 0 will be subtracted from 0, it will be 0, and 0 minus 0, it will again be 0. Okay, now we have found the value of Cj minus Zj. Now we have to check for the optimality condition. Okay, so if you are having the optimization function as of maximization type, so we have to check value of Cj minus Zj, and if all the values of Cj minus Zj are less than equal to 0, then the solution is optimal. If the values of Cj minus Zj are not equal to 0, then we have to proceed to the next step. Okay, but now if you will check the value of Cj minus Zj here, you will see that we are not having all values either equal to 0 or less than equal to 0. Okay, so we are not having an optimal solution for this table. Okay, here you will see that we are having two positive values, so we have to proceed to the next step. Now we have to find the different values in simplex table 1. Okay, so let us start with finding the key column. Okay, so what is the key column? So the column which is having the highest positive value of Cj minus Zj is called as the key column. Okay, so if you will have a look on the simplex table 1, you will see that this 200 is the maximum value for Cj minus Zj. So this column will be the key column. So let us mark this column as a key column. Okay, so this is the key column. Okay, now in the second step we have to find the ratio. Okay, so how can we find the ratio? We have to divide the value of solution variable by the elements of the key column. Okay, now you will see that these are the values of the solution variable and these are the elements of the key column. So to find the value of ratio, we have to divide these values by these values. Okay, now you will see that here, if I will divide this 100 by 5, I will be having a value of ratio as 20. Okay, similarly if I will divide this 50 by this 1, I will be having a value of 50. Okay, now in the third step we have to find the key row. Okay, so if you will see that which can be selected as the key row, so the formula for selecting the key row is that we have to choose the lowest positive value of ratio for selecting the key row. Okay, again moving to simplex table 1, you will see that out of these two values 20 and 50, 20 is the lowest positive value of ratio. So the corresponding row to this 20 value will be the key row. So let us again mark this as a key row. Now this is the key row. Okay, now after that we have to find the outgoing and the incoming variable. So how can we find the outgoing variable? So the variable which is the variable of key row is called as the outgoing variable, and the variable which is the variable of key column is the incoming variable. Here you will see that this S1 is the variable for this key row, so this will be the outgoing variable. Okay, now if you will see the column, this X is the variable of the key column, so this X will now be the incoming variable. Okay, and the sixth point, what we have to choose, we have to choose now the key element. Okay, so the element which is at the intersection of key row and key column is called as the key element. So here you will see that this 5 is available at the intersection of the key column and key row, so this 5 is now called as the key element. Okay, so we have followed the 6 simple steps, that first of all we have find the key column, then we have find the key row, then we find the ratio. After finding the ratio, we have find the key row, then we have find the outgoing variable, then we have find the incoming variable, and after that we have found the key element. Okay, now we have to generate the simplex table 2. Okay, so for generating the simplex table 2, we have to perform different operation. Okay, the first operation is that we have to make this key element as a unity. Okay, so how can we make this key element unity? We can divide all the elements of this row by this element itself, and then this element will become unity. Okay, and after that for the other rows, what we have to do, we have to make the elements which are in the key column apart from that of key element, we have to make them 0. Here you will see that we are having only one row. Okay, so it could be possible that the rows could be more than 2 or 3, so the elements which are even above or below the key element has to be made 0, and for that we have to perform different operation. Okay, now let us generate the simplex table 2 and let us make this element initially as a unity. Now this is the format of simplex table 2. It is similar to simplex table 1 initially. Okay, now this is PPU, this is BV, this is CJ, this is SV, and as I have told you earlier, this portion will remain as it is. Okay, now this is ZJ and CJ minus ZJ now. Okay, so first of all we have to make the key element as unity. So if I will divide this row by 5, okay, this row by 5, I will be having new key row. Okay, so this will be the new entry in key row. Okay, so if I will divide that row by 5, I will be having here as 20, here as 1, here as 1 by 5, here as 1 by 5, and here as 0. Okay, now you will again see that this s1 is the outgoing variable and this x is the incoming variable. So we will write here now x in the simplex table 2, and in front of that we will write the value as 200. Okay, so now let us write here as x, and for x we are having a value of PPU as 200 here now. Okay, now again moving to row 2, okay, we have to make this element as 0. Okay, so to make this element 0, let us perform a simple mathematical calculation. Okay, so first of all we have to write these elements of this row in the form of a column. You will see here that I have written these value in the form of a column. Okay, now make a minus sign in front of all of these values, and then let us start a bracket for all of these values. Okay, now after this bracket we have to write the values of the new row entry which we have made in the simplex table 2, and that too we have to write in the form of column. Okay, so if you will see that these are the values for the new entry in the simplex table 2. Okay, so let us write these values again in the form of a column. Okay, so the values are 20, 1, 1 by 5, 1 by 5, and 0. Now multiply all these 5 values by the function or by the element which we have to make 0. Here you will see that we have to make this one as 0 for the simplex table 2. Okay, so we will multiply all these values with 1. Okay, so this is 1, this is 1, 1, 1, and 1. Now if you will solve these values, okay, then we will be able to convert that 1 into 0, and all of the elements of that row will also get changed. So if you will solve these values or these equation, we will be having the values of the elements for simplex table 2 for row number 2. The values are now 30, 0, 4 by 5, minus 1 by 5, and 1. Now we will write these values of the column again back into the row in the simplex table 2. Okay, so let us write these values in the simplex table 2. So the first value is 30, so let us write 30 here. The second value is 0, as we have to make the value below the key element as 0, so this now you will see that is 0. Okay, after that the new value is 4 by 5, then this is minus 1 by 5, and the last value is 1. Okay, so also please note that there is no change in the value of s2, so we will write s2 as it is, and the coefficient for this s2 here is 0, so we will write is here 0. Okay, now again we will have to find the zj and cj. So you will see that this is the simplex table 2, and we have converted these two values, and due to conversion of these two values all these values got changed. Okay, now let us find the value of zj. Okay, you will see that the value of zj will be 200, for this column will be 200 into 1, 200 into 1 plus 0 into 0, that is 0. So if you will add these two values, this will come out to be 200. Similarly we can find the values of all these values of all these columns. So the values for all these columns are 40, 40, and 0. Okay, now we have to find the values of cj minus zj. Okay, so 200 minus 200, this will be 0. 50 minus 40, this is 10. 0 minus 40 minus 40 and 0 minus 0 0. Okay, now we again have to make the optimality check. So for optimality check we have to check the values of Cj minus Zj, and if all the values of Cj minus Zj are less than or equal to 0, the solution is optimal. Okay, but here in this case you will see that we are having a positive value, so this is not again an optimal solution, and we again have to follow the previous procedures, as that we have to find the key column, we have to find the ratio, we have to find the key row, then we have to find the incoming and outgoing variable, and then we have to select the key element, and again we have to draw a simplex table 3. Okay, so let us again find the key element and key row and key columns, etc. So again, if you will see that in this table we are having the highest positive value as 10, so the column corresponding to this value will be the key column. So this is the key column. Okay, so let us mark this with a circle and let us mark this as a key column. Now we have to find the ratio, and you know that, the element of the key column. So if you will divide this 20 by 1 by 5, we will be having 100, and if you will divide this 30 by this 4 by 5, we will be having 75 by 2. Now we have to choose the key row, and for choosing the key row we have to select the lowest value of the ratio, and from these two values you will see that 75 by 2 is the lowest ratio, so the row corresponding to this lowest ratio will be the key row. Now you will see that this is the key row. Okay, so this is the key row. Okay, now we have to find the outgoing variable. So the variable of the key row is the outgoing variable. Here you will see that this S2 is the variable of this key row for the simplex table 2. So now this will be the outgoing variable. Now we have to check the element of the key column. Here you will see that this Y is the element of the key column for simplex table 2. So now this Y will be the incoming variable. Okay, and after that we have to find the key element. Okay, now the key element is the element which is available at the intersection of the key row and the key column. So here 4 by 5 is the element which is available at the intersection of key row and key column. So this is now the key element. Okay, now we will draw the simplex table 3, and in the simplex table 3 we have to change these two rows and these values also. Okay, so for doing that we have to convert this key element as unity and this element as 0, and for that purpose we have to perform certain operations. So now let us draw the simplex table 3. Now you will see that this is the format of simplex table 3, and this is initially similar to all other tables. Okay, so this is PPU, BU, CJ, SV. Here this will remain same again. This is the ratio, and this is Zj, this is Cj minus Zj. Now we have to use the simplex table 2 to draw the simplex table 3. Okay, now if you will see here, this is the key element and we have to make it unity. So for making this element as unity, we have to divide all the elements of this row by this key element. So if you will divide all these elements of this row by 4 by 5, we will be having the value as 75 by 2, then 0, then this will be the key element and it has been now converted to unity. This value will be minus 1 by 4 and this value will be 5 by 4. Okay, now we have to convert this element to 0. So for that purpose we have to write this entire row in the form of a column. Okay, so let us write in the form of column. Here you will see that we have written these values in the form of a column. Okay, then we have put the minus sign in front of all these value and the bracket in front of all these values, as we have done for the simplex table 1. Follow the same procedure here also. Now we have to write the element of simplex table 3 for the newly entered row. So these are the values for newly entered row in simplex table 3. Okay, now we have to write these in the form of column here. So this is 75 by 2, this is 0, this is 1, this is minus 1 by 4, and this is 5 by 4. Now again you will see that we have to multiply these value with the element which has to be converted to 0. Okay, so here you will see that now this element of simplex table 2 is to be converted into 0. So we have to multiply all these values by 1 by 5. Okay, so if I will multiply all these values by 1 by 5, I can have some equations here. Okay, so if you will solve these all equations, you will be having values as 25 by 2, 1, 0, 1 by 4, and minus 1 by 4. Now we have to put all these values in the form of row here. Okay, so let us plot these values here. Okay, now the first value is 25 by 2, this is 25 by 2, this is 1, this is 0, this is 1 by 4, and this is minus 1 by 4. Okay, so here you will see that from the simplex table 2, now this is the outgoing variable and this y is the incoming variable, so we have to change this also. Okay, so now this is y, and the value for y you will see that is 50, so we have to write here as 50. There will be no change in this value and this value. Okay, so they will remain same too as that of simplex table 2. Okay, now we have to find the value of Zj and Cj minus Zj. So you know that the formula of calculation of Zj is pretty simple, so let us find the value of Zj for simplex table 3. Now if you will multiply this 200 by 1, the value is 200, and if you will multiply this 50 with 0, the value is 0. So 200 plus 0 is 200. Okay, now if you will multiply this 200 with this 0, the value will be 0, and if you will multiply this 50 by 1, the value is 50. So 0 plus 50, the value will come out to be 50, and if you will solve for these two columns, the values will be minus 75 by 2 and minus 25 by 2. Okay, oh sorry, 75 by 2 and 25 by 2. Okay, now we have to subtract Cj or this Zj from this Cj. So 200 minus 200, the value will be 0. 50 minus 50, the value will be 0. 0 minus 75 by 2, the value will be minus 75 by 2, and if you will subtract this 25 by 2 from this 0, the value will be minus 25 by 2. Now again we have to check for optimality of the solution. Okay, so if you will see the row of Cj minus Zj, you will see now that all values are either equal to 0 or less than equal to 0. So here all Cj minus Zj are less than equal to 0. So this is an optimal solution. Okay, and now we can find the value of x and y. Okay, so if you will see in this table, these values under solution variables are the values for this x and y. Okay, so here you will see that the value of x is under solution variable is 25 by 2. So the value of x is here 25 by 2, and the value for y under solution variable is 75 by 2. So these are the values of x and y for the optimal solution. Now we can find the value of maximization z. Okay, now this is the equation for maximization of z, and now this is the 200, and we have to put now the value of x here 25 by 2, and here we have to put the value of y, and this is 75 by 2. So if you will solve this equation, this is 75 by 2. If you will solve this equation, the value will come out to be 4375 rupees. So this is the maximum value for this LPP, and the value for the variables will be x and y to have this maximum value. Okay, now also if you will see my video on the graphical method, there also we have solved this numerical, and the value for that numerical also are similar to these values, so we can say that we have solved this numerical in a correct manner. So this is the method for solving the linear programming problem of maximization type using simplex method.